Mikey, and William Waffles.
I don't drink soda.
This is a comedy podcast and does not reflect the actual opinions of anyone involved. It's a performance. That's why we smoke inside. You can't smoke inside unless it's a performance, which this is. There may be moments that imitate actual opinions and thoughts, but everything is a goof. We sometimes say things that seem offensive, but we promise they aren't. Remember that we're smoking indoors, so this is a performance and definitely not anything else. Please enjoy responsibly.
You ready?
Yeah.
5, 4,
3.
You're supposed to say the last couple like quiet. So it's like 5, 4, 3. Welcome to the Natural Habitat Podcast, everybody. The 420 special. Clap. We're supposed to do an applause. The 420 special. It's 420 today. You know, that's a thing still, right? People still celebrate weed stuff.
I feel like only people selling you weed like hype it up anymore.
Are like, hey, 420
They're like,
specials,
remember guys,
man.
420? Remember when you were like 12?
Yeah.
Well, come buy some moderately discounted weed.
Yeah, like, are the deals really that good?
They're like 20% off some items, but I mean, obviously they just mark up other items to make off, offset the loss of profits.
I went to the local weed store, the recreational weed store, and there's no 420 specials at all. I was like, you guys having a special deal on 420? And they said, what is that?
Yeah, we're gonna raise our taxes even more. You're gonna pay 35% tax today because we don't like the way you look.
Yeah, it's rough out there, man. But I mean, I guess this episode is dropping on 420, which it's always been it's always been a big thing here at the podcast every year.
Oh, we totally should have just gone back through the old 420 episodes and just commented on each one.
Oh man, that would have been great.
That would have been an even better episode than what we have planned. But we're just gonna ride it out because we've got this queued.
Man, that is a good idea though. Maybe next 420. Next 420, it's on. We're doing that. But there's more and more people. I think that the older we get, there's people that are using cannabis in possibly the wrong way.
Abusing it, certainly.
Yeah, using and abusing this, this plant, this medicine, which can also be a drug. Yeah. So this is a man. What he told here. I have the thing. It's like his pitch that his publicist sent me. It says, the man, Steve Dorjic, so
okay. I mean, that says a lot, but
yeah, I mean, he's a man, obviously, and I think that he has overcome this use and abuse period with cannabis or cannabinoids.
He used to be all in on it, and now he's all out.
All out.
He's taken, his chips off the table, as they say, in the world of professional gambling, which is another addiction you can have in its own.
Very true.
Yeah.
Welcome. This is my story growing up smoking weed.
Now, if you notice, first thing I noticed that right after welcome, there was a smash cut. So you have to wonder how many takes he took doing this. That's just and also like the way his head's just framed. Like, is he naked and jacking off?
Yeah,
like on the couch. Like, why?
Yeah, that is weird. The framing is extremely odd.
I started smoking weed when I was 12 years old.
Me
it
too.
was March of 77. I just turned 12, and I had just become interested in girls.
Nice, he's straight.
And
that's important to let everybody know.
Inadequate.
Yeah.
I wasn't socially gifted, so I thought I needed to be a little cooler. And all the older kids were smoking weed, and they seemed to be making out with girls.
Yeah.
That
all checks out.
Me.
So his one sheet that his publicist should have sent me was a man with a plan, because it seems like he knows what he's doing.
I mean, so far his story checks out with me. It's all in line with, like what
with the
my
classic,
experience.
the classic growing up story.
You're about 12. You see some older kids smoking weed. You start trying it. You start making out with chicks. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all accurate so far.
It's a true coming of age tale.
So I started smoking
There's
weed. I
smash cut there.
went with some older guys to the Highlands Park Bridge in Laguna Niguel, California.
You're just gonna dox all these people where they smoke weed, give up their spot. 77
in the 1977, like I said before.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that much the first time. This kid skateboarded up next to me, and one of the other kids goes, "Are you stoned?" And I go, "I don't know." And he goes, "You look stoned." Skateboarded off.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all been there, right?
And yeah, that's how it started.
Okay.
And I actually got busted right away. I got in trouble with my parents. And a couple days later, I heard him giving my brother the third degree that night.
Do you remember getting busted for weed?
Yeah.
That like used to be a thing.
Oh yeah. I've got more stories than I can share on one podcast of me getting busted by either like a school official or like a local beat cop.
A local beat
Just
cop.
like a concerned citizen, property owner.
Yeah.
Just all these different. And like in retrospect, I was this little kid that had no business smoking anything on anybody else's property. Like, I mean,
Yeah, very true.
really, they weren't out of line for busting me.
Yeah, that used to be. I feel like I'm still traumatized from all of these old weed laws and times that I got busted. Like you said, by all those people.
Those laws are pretty sure still intact if you're a minor. So I mean, I'm sure kids today are still getting busted and sent to juvenile court and ticketed and sent to all kinds of weird schools.
Yeah,
Their
but when you're a kid,
schooling's
it doesn't matter. You don't really have rights when you're a kid.
no, of course not.
So, it's crazy to me that like the smell of weed isn't probable cause for anything anymore. Your car can reek like burnt weed, and a cop just won't even acknowledge it. He'll just be like, "Where you going? Where you coming from? You were going a little fast. Here's your ticket. Whatever. Have a good day." And it's like, that's wild. Plus, it's also where we live in California, where cops have been like kind of chill about weed for a while.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, becoming increasingly so, I would say. I don't know. I haven't been stopped in forever. Like, I'm curious what would happen if I got, like, pulled over for violating weed laws. Like, let's say, like, my car smelled like I had just smoked or something, because you can't smoke and drive, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, are they giving out DUIs for that? Or, like, what? I haven't been pulled over in fucking ages, so.
See, I've always like, I've heard that that's what would happen, but I've never heard of it happening. And it's like, there's no credible way for them to find out when you smoked weed, how much weed you smoked.
But what if, like, the car was smoky or something?
Well, yeah, if you're actively smoking weed, then
Yeah.
that's actually, because I've gotten that ticket, and it's the same, like, penal code as driving with an open container. It's like driving with open container unit B, which is driving with burning weed. And they just gave me the ticket and let me leave. Took all my weed. But let me drive my car away, which they wouldn't do if you were drinking, you know?
Sure.
But I don't know. I don't know what they would do. We should find out.
Yeah.
We
But
should-
like, who even is this guy? Like, why is he putting out this video? That's kind of what makes me wonder. I mean, like, we've all smoked weed when we were kids. Like, what was the turning point for him, and why is he like coming out against it now? Why is his head the only thing framed? Like, he's the Power Rangers thing. You remember, like
Yeah.
Zordon? Is he Zordon? Is he the singer from REM? There's a lot of unanswered questions about this guy so far.
So his name's Bill Howie. And this video just came out of nowhere. This channel came out of nowhere. The description says, "This is my story about growing up smoking weed. I'm sharing it so that others may learn from my experience. I started smoking weed at 12 and was a daily user by 13. Became a decades-long habit. In this video, I document my experience and point of view. This is the clearest 480p I've ever seen." what somebody said. So this video kind of came out of nowhere and was recommended to me by YouTube. And I watched it and it was ridiculous. And he only has 3 other videos.
Okay, so yeah, he's like a positivity life coach type guy.
Motivational speaker, be inspired.
Oh, so he really makes you wonder why that video is the only video of him where he's framed like that. And he's, explaining his experience of being a teenage stone. Like, what is he doing?
And why this one bit so hard, the algorithm bit so hard, it's 250,000 views.
Oh, shit.
The next one has 800 views, then 820, and then 2,000.
That's wild. Well, it's been out longer, but still. I mean, it's not like he has like that big of a following.
Yeah, what's with his garbage thumbnails now? Is this someone like ripping this guy's videos? What is that?
Cool.
Cool.
Get a little more sound in the music. Welcome. Episode 10. Double digits.
Oh, he's got like a podcast too?
Yeah, and he uploaded episode 2,
It's
episode 4, and episode 10.
1st,
I don't know where he does his podcast at.
2021. We did it. We survived 2020. There's no guarantee of what's going to happen in
And his
2021.
podcast is just him talking?
But we did
Yeah.
it. You and I.
Oh,
He
no,
does like
it's you, the listener.
Onwards
Oh, yeah,
and
it's us.
upwards. Happy
It's us
New
talking
Year.
with him.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, he cusses too.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. This is, like I said, episode.
And drops
He's
some
a
F-bombs.
cool motivational
And
speaker.
today's
Is he like is this like a
topic
Jesus deal?
He's bitching.
Is this about Jesus?
Maybe. I know that, I've told this story before on the podcast, but I don't know if I told it to you, but I was in karate when I was a kid. Not like a cool, intricate, like Taekwondo. It was just like karate.
Yeah, I remember.
Just
I was
a
in,
generic karate.
like the early 90s karate classes, yeah.
And I remember one time I did I did like a crescent kick, had some good form, and my sensei, he said that was bitchin'. And he said it like in front of everybody, all the parents were there, and he said bitchin'. And he like high-fived me, and I didn't have a dad, so it like that was a cool moment
Yeah, it
for
was
me.
validation.
Yeah,
Sure,
that was awesome.
absolutely.
And because he said bitchin', I was like, oh man, he cussed? Like, he's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. That always stuck with me, and it's why I cuss now.
Oh,
And he puts off that same vibe.
absolutely. He's like the type of guy that like tells you like a cool long story, and it's got all these like sweet parts, and then like gradually it starts becoming more and more about Jesus, and you don't even realize it to the very end. And then, like the very last word is like trusting God or something like that.
It's like Matt's Facebook feed the past year.
just progressively more right.
More Jesus and right
It's like,
wing.
yeah, we're gonna start right here in the middle and just gradually drag you to the right.
It's like the ship like going 1 degree off to the side, and then after so much time, they're in a totally different spot.
It's like if you broke up a red pill and just microdosed it over the course of like 2 years.
Microdosing a red pill.
To be in your life. It was an absolutely beautiful morning. I've got all day to do this list, and yet I was rushing. I had to get there. I had to do.
Like he's
and
like
there was
I'm
this
like distracted
couple
by like the
that had
lo-fi hip hop and study beat on the background.
Yeah, I
just
feel like
want
I
him to,
should be studying.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, shut up. I'm trying to hear this.
Yeah. I feel like I'm not working enough as I hear this.
baby carriage crossing the street, so I had to stop. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be right now.
Dude, like, I don't know.
Are you sure this guy doesn't still smoke weed?
Like
We didn't hear the end of his story, but it kind of sounds like he still smokes weed.
the way the guy talks is just,
It's weird. It's very theatrical and strange.
it's weird. Yeah.
So I don't know why he's here and what happened, but I mean, I guess
He
I
just showed up one day.
I watched the video that it recommended to me. I went back to it and found it and watched it again. And then I just went to his channel and watched another video. So I'll probably get recommended this guy's videos for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
YouTube thinks that I love it.
I just want to know more about like the actual guy. Like, what are his legal problems? Like, what's his most recent court case? Speaking of court cases, a segue for you.
Yeah. There's our 420 episode. Happy 420. Now we'll move on to just a regular podcast.
Yeah.
So it's no longer 420 special.
No more smoking weed.
420 special happened. We don't smoke weed anymore. I mean, we do, but it's not a.
I might
deal.
just stop right now because it would like. What if I did?
That lo-fi hip hop motivated me.
Huge life change.
And just stop smoking weed right now on 420 during the 420 special.
Let's see if we can do. Let's see if I can do it. I don't think you can.
Not smoke weed for the rest of this episode.
Let's see if I can make it to the next episode. We'll get an update next week. Like if I'm probably not going to do it, but we'll check in. We'll check in next week. I might have stopped smoking weed because of this like random thing I said.
When was the last time that you've gone like longer than a week without smoking weed?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I'm afraid because when people do that. And then they smoke weed again, they get like the heavy paranoia and the like can't function right and the like freak out.
Yeah, well, I told you about that edibles experience.
Yeah,
which I'm not going to repeat that story. Nobody cares about that. But yeah, like, I mean, it'll hit you.
Yeah.
It'll get you.
That happened to me for the first time recently on an edible, but I think that it was synthetic. Because a lot of edibles and even flour now, they're finding out that they're laced with like spice and K2 and shit.
Just the fucking fentanyl of weed.
Yeah.
Weed fentanyl.
Yeah. So I think I ate that because I ate a little half of a cookie that wasn't even like a crazy amount. And it fucking, I felt like my chest was all like fucking tight and.
Yeah. I had all kinds of, I had just some horrible thoughts about
like
my life. And just like, yeah, it was like a panic attack. I wasn't so much like, I'm not going to describe it like a bad weed trip. Nobody cares about that, but you know, be careful with the edibles.
Yeah, be careful. So that's what I don't want to. I don't want to quit smoking weed because I don't want that to happen every time I want to just smoke a bowl. Then I got freak out, fucking panic attack fest. So there's the 420 special. We'll see what happens next week with you and you're smoking weed. Hopefully you're still smoking weed. Because I don't want you to get panic attacks either.
Yeah, I don't want like...
Because I know people that like...
adverse effects of any nature. But like I feel like the short-term memory loss and the other bad side effects would probably outweigh like... or the loss of those short-term side effects.
Yeah.
And me just regaining my ability to quickly process things.
Yeah.
My motor skills would probably be improved. There's probably like a laundry list of
probably
positive
energy.
things. Yeah, energy.
Yeah. Insane amounts of energy, I
my
bet.
Cardio would probably be greatly improved.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see.
I mean, that actually might be worth the risk now that you say, because that doesn't happen to everybody. Also, people can just take breaks and then smoke again and it's fine. But either way, happy 420. We did it.
Yeah, moving on to far darker topics.
So, local murder victim, Kristen Smart, was a victim of a murder.
Is it even a local murder at this point? I mean, like, this is Good Morning America. I feel like they've talked about this on everything now. Yeah. So it's like a national, big time murder case.
Planet Earth's Kristen Smart.
Yep.
Her alleged killers were arrested. Recently is what the news is saying. Let's actually play a little bit of this clip.
After years of calling Paul Flores a prime suspect, police finally arrested him for murder. His father, Ruben, arrested as an accessory to murder. And this morning, a search on his property for Kristen's body as her family hopes to finally find some closure. This morning, Paul Flores waking up behind bars, accused of murdering college student Kristen Smart nearly 25 years ago. Flores has been under suspicion since Smart disappeared back in May of 1996.
Okay, so I mean, if you're not living under a rock, you're familiar with that story.
Yep.
The story, Kristen Smart, 25 years ago, murdered. Paul Flores was like, I didn't do it. And he's just been walking free amongst the people.
Yeah, he almost certainly killed her. I think he killed her. I think he definitely killed her. I think his father definitely helped, but it hasn't been proven in court yet. And until it has, you have to look at all the options. I mean, you have to do your due diligence and really do a full 360 canvassing for any other possible scenarios as well.
You need due diligence, and they need due process.
Yep.
Paul remained as a person of interest, and as the case progressed, became a suspect and the prime suspect in the case. Detectives secured a court order.
Now, this is Sheriff Ian Parkinson's. He is from the Parkinson's family, Johnson & Johnson, Parkinson's, that whole Rothberg kind of tribe.
Yeah.
Pharmaceutical family.
Yep. He came to our town probably about a decade ago. Not a lot's known about him before that time. I remember him running for sheriff, and he was basically running on the promise that he was going to take on the Kristen Smart case and finally solve it.
And what's really fucked up that I didn't even really notice? You'll hear throughout this investigation, Ian Parkinson say, the Natural Habitat podcast is not the podcast that I want to thank. They are not good people. How dare they use this tragedy to gain some sort of fame or clicks or anything like that? You'll hear him say this stuff, but he literally did what he's claiming that we're doing. He ran on, like you said, I will find Kristen Smart. That girl that everyone loves and misses. I'm going to find her. She's going to be fine. She's going to be alive. And he also kind of piggybacked his campaign on the fame of Michael J. Fox's medical condition at the time. It was probably in its biggest news surge when, that meme was going around where it was Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox, and he's all blurry because he was shaking really fast.
Are you making fun of people with Parkinson's?
No, I'm not. I'm saying Michael J. Fox had Parkinson's, and it was popular culture at the time.
Yeah.
People were talking about it. Now, all of a sudden, we have this big sign that says "Vote Parkinson's."
Oh, yeah.
And you're obviously,
anything that's even 3 degrees from a Back to the Future reference, I'm all in on. So that would have been enough to do it for me. You know what I mean?
Subliminally, it did it.
Michael J. Fox, Back to the Future. Yeah. There it is right there.
Boom. Done. So I think that's what he did. He used those 2 tragedies and the one mystery, which I consider Back to the Future a mystery movie.
Yeah.
Sci-fi mystery.
Yeah.
And catapulted himself into the seat of sheriff. He never was deputy sheriff. He never was local beat cop.
No.
He never was detective.
No, I don't even think he's from the area. I think he moved here because the sheriff's spot was open, and he saw the Kristen Smart case, had heard about it, and saw an opportunity to make a name for himself. And that's why I feel that once this trial's over, if he gets a conviction, I think Parkinson's moves on to Reno or something like a bigger, more attractive job, but still not a big city, a shitty upgrade.
Like a little big city.
Like he's going to catapult himself to Reno sheriff, or even maybe some sort of attorney a state
like an attorney or a general.
What was Walker, Texas Ranger?
A Texas Ranger.
Did they have those because he wouldn't make it in Texas. Did they have a Nevada Ranger?
They have park rangers.
Just a park ranger.
Ian Parkinson's park ranger.
Just parlays a murder conviction into a
cush ass fucking park ranger job.
He is kind of dressed like a park ranger, like the Yogi Bear park ranger.
He is, and this seems like it would be like a new animated show on Hulu. Ian Parkinson's park ranger.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we still got more of this video left.
Authorizing the interception and monitoring of Paul Flores' cell phone and text messages.
On Tuesday, police also arresting Paul's father.
So here's Papa Flores arrested and charged with what was it? Accessory to murder. Yeah.
Ruben as an accessory, searching the 80-year-old's property last month with cadaver dogs and using ground-penetrating radars. Police say they found evidence there, but have still not found her body. Smart's family has been hoping for answers for decades.
It's definitely been tough. We don't have closure. We don't know what's happened, and it's been 20 years.
Police say the popular podcast, Your Own Backyard, which shed a new light on Smart's disappearance, helped lead them to the arrests.
Part of the reason that I first got involved with telling the story of Kristen Smart was that things had been too quiet.
The podcast introducing new witnesses in the case, including one woman who says she spoke to Ruben's wife after Smart disappeared.
So this is really what we're focused on. And that is this podcast that came out of nowhere, local podcast by Chris Lampert called Your Own Backyard. Is that what it is?
Something like that.
Or is it Your Backyard?
It's our backyard since we live here, but if you don't live on the Central Coast, it's
the locals only podcast is Our Backyard. The one for everyone else is Your Own Backyard.
Yeah, they refer to it as your own, as in possessive of us. Mm-hmm. But since when we say it, it's our backyard.
It's our own backyard.
Yard.
Our yard.
I mean, because not everybody has a backyard.
It's the yard.
It's just whatever yard you have.
It's like a local yard. So like the yard.
Like a lumber yard would even be fine.
Yeah, whatever. So this guy made this podcast. Turns out he knows a lot about this case. Like a weird amount.
I mean, more than I know about the case, that's for sure. And I mean, I'm a little bit older than this guy. So, I mean, it stands to reason that I would have been more in the loop as far as local homicides go in 1996 or whatever it was. Yeah. I was probably I was 11. I was 11 or 12.
And the internet was out at the time. AOL discs were a thing.
Yeah, I was just smoking weed like that one guy, so I was probably, making out with a ton of chicks.
Yeah, yeah.
Just, in my social prime.
Hanging out with a lot of older kids skating. That would, know these people.
Yeah, yeah.
And we've always been internet sleuths. That's been a well-known thing. And, we combined don't even know 10% of what this Christopher Lampert guy knows.
No, he's got all kinds of details about this, and
details that only someone that was intimate with the crime would know.
I mean, it's possible that he just did a ton of research and really put a ton of time and work into this podcast, but
yeah,
I mean, I don't know.
He could have gone out and talked to dozens of people that were involved and gotten close to family members and stuff. Or that could have just been a side effect of him trying to cover his tracks.
I mean, we've made many podcasts, and we didn't put that much work into any of those ones.
Not one.
Not even close.
One, no.
I mean, not an ounce here.
So that seems very fishy, that he would do that. Because, I mean, we got how many? It's we're 500 and something episodes at this point.
Just tons.
And all of those combined, we haven't put in as much work as he allegedly puts into one episode of this podcast, which he does by himself. Yeah,
I mean,
right.
are we jealous of this guy's podcast?
No, not even. No.
I mean, no.
Let's compare the numbers. Let's not compare the numbers. Let's compare the numbers. $75,000 reward. That's the number I'm talking about, because that's what that's his end game, I think.
100%. He's after that reward money.
Yeah, he's after that reward money because it's almost like when an arsonist burns something down and they just can't help but come back and rub their hands together over the fire,
No, he was what's the easiest way for me to make $75,000? I'm going to kill a girl, and then over the course of the next 25 years, I'm going to elaborately cover it up and then start a podcast, solve my own crime, or help. I mean, obviously I'm not a cop, so I can't solve it for him. I'm going to
put all the pieces out there.
Conspire to elect an inept town sheriff who won't be able to solve the crime, and then I'm gonna, just put the breadcrumbs right there on his desk for him and allow him to like kind of stumble upon the clues needed to solve this crime, and then they're gonna. How does he get to the 70? Okay, so yeah, they convict the others based off his tips, and then finally, like when he's like 75.
This is what it is that nobody really gives the one piece of evidence that convicts Paulie Flores or finds her body. You know what I mean? But a bunch of people, like you said, it's like pieces of a puzzle, which Chris Lambert has just put out on the table where they need to go, just kind of set them down.
Yeah, it's like if you
and then you just kind of slide it in.
Dumped out a box of puzzle pieces, and then some guy just comes in and just starts putting them together way faster than he has any business putting them together. You're going to start to be like, well, how does that make sense?
Yeah, do you have any sort of like knowledge about this puzzle? And you're like, no, never heard of it. So I think that there's going to be nobody to give the credit to because it's going to be 100 different tiny tips that all came from the podcast and compiled. It's really Chris Lambert to thank. And to receive the $75,000, he gets the key to the city, shake the hand, kiss the baby, and he's walking away rubbing his hands together. Got away with murder, allegedly.
He's twistling his mustache. Like he
has one too.
Yeah, he does.
I saw it. So, this has been worldwide news, and us being, like an all gas and no brakes style guerrilla journalist, we're the press.
Yeah,
we went there.
We go where the stories go.
We do.
We make the news, or
we if it bleeds, it leads.
Right, yeah. Sure.
And I mean, this is a murder. So we went to this press conference and got our own side of the story.
Yeah, we don't trust the lamestream media's coverage of it.
And you shouldn't either.
In our backyard, is that how we...
In our yard.
Our yard.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we know the local media. We know KSBY, KEYT. We know they're all biased, and they're all going to be quick to point the fingers at the Flores family like they've done for 25 years, and duly so. I mean, like I said, this guy definitely did it, pretty much. But
yeah,
but it's still, there hasn't been a conviction yet, so, I mean, you have to look at other suspects.
Due process.
There is one other suspect that, again, I mean, at least I find him to be suspicious. I find his motivations to be suspicious, and that's this Lampwick guy.
That's right. So let's roll the clip. Let's roll the clip. Jerry. Let's roll the clip.
We're here live, headed down to O'Neill Green to watch the hold on. I'm gonna run it back. We're here live, headed down to O'Neill Green to see the press conference with Sheriff Ian Parkinson about the new details of the case in the Kristen Smart murders. Let's go check it out. It's been 25 years since we've had any new details in the case. But then a mysterious man by the name of Chris Lambert came out with this podcast called Our Own Backyard.
I mean, that's what we think he's called. I haven't seen a birth certificate.
Neither have I.
I mean, he just kind of emerged from the shadows with a lot of hearsay and accusations.
And he seems to have a lot of information that the regular person doesn't have. Someone that's really close to this crime. And he's allegedly just the guy. So we're going to find out what this press conference has to do with him, what it has to do with Paul and Ruben Flores, and if perhaps Kristen Smart's body might be at this event, if they found it. Do you think is that bad taste, or what do you think?
An officer with the San Luis Obispo County Sheriff's.
We're missing it, dude. It's starting. We gotta hurry.
Paul Flores for the murder of Kristen Smart and the arrest of his
father, Ruben Flores, as an accessory to the murder.
You said there's a timeline. There's a timeline? I don't know.
Freshman Cal College student was last seen on May 25th of 1996 at approximately 2 a.m. near the intersection of Murder and Grand Ave as she walked home from an off-campus.
This is it.
Also a 19-year-old. On June 26, 1996, about a month later, the Sandler Sheriff's Office assumed the lead investigation in the case. Paul Flores has remained a person of significant interest. There's been some discussion of what is a person of interest versus a suspect, and it's really a matter of terminology. In late 2016,
Chris Lambert.
we discovered additional evidence
Keep an eye out.
that confirmed that Paul was the
I got a
suspect
feeling that he's hidden
in the
something.
disappearance. In 2019, we interviewed several witnesses that had not been previously interviewed, and I'll say some of that information came to light through the podcast that many are familiar with, that was produced and eventually led to our interviewing that witness. Paul was arrested for charge of murder with zero bail, meaning he is unable to bail, and Ruben Flores was arrested as an accessory to murder with a bail of $250,000.
I brought a minimal setup.
We at Cal Poly offer our thanks to Sheriff Ian Parkinson and his department, as well as District Attorney Dan Dowdy's office, who have worked hard to find answers in this case for Kristen and her family. I know that many across California and the U.S. and many of you here today also thank Chris Lambert for his efforts as well.
I am prepared to answer any questions that you might have. Yes, sir.
Sheriff Parkinson, has Chris Lambert been ruled out as a suspect? Because if this was a movie, he would definitely be the guy that did it. Like, has all this interest in the case raised any red flags for you?
Well, as I've said before, and this case is probably the best illustration of it, is that it's not what you believe, it's what you can prove.
Sheriff. Did you listen to Your Own Backyard podcast? And if so, are there any other podcasts that you enjoy?
Yes. Yes, sir.
My last question, it was because we actually have a podcast, me and this guy. We have a podcast that we host called the Natural Habitat Podcast, and we'd love if you would endorse us as like how you do, Chris.
I've always said that those are really good things because it's getting that message out. I think what Chris did with his podcast was he took a local story that was generally locally and he expanded it to a national story.
Can you talk about that? Do you believe there were missteps early on? Do you think this arrest could have happened, back in 96, 97?
First to the missteps, yes.
Sheriff Parkinson, are there any other crimes that you need help solving?
Can't comment on that.
Sheriff, what about the mom? What about Susan?
That was answered just a little bit ago. You might have missed it.
Okay. So for the two men arrested, are they on suicide watch? That's not why.
It's not why. Well, I can tell you this. Anybody that comes in on a high-profile crime is probably, I'd say, a dozen people right now in custody for murder.
I mean, what was their demeanor? Were they surprised? I heard reports of Paul being in Arroyo Grande over the weekend.
Well, at least it was at the end.
Yeah. So the press conference just finished up. A little bit of information was given out, but a lot of excitement for Chris Lambert. Nobody has ruled him out as a suspect yet.
All right. Well, that was some journalism.
I mean, yeah, you could call it that.
I think that, we really are asking the questions that nobody else is asking and pointing the fingers.
The hardball questions. Everybody else is throwing little Nerf questions, and we're coming out here and we're being like, "Yo, sheriff, give us the scoop. Give us the scoop."
Yeah. What about the mom? Give us the damn scoop. And that was actually a really weird moment because we were listening to the questions, and we actually have a whole raw, recording of that interview that we can put up. You guys can watch that, and you could hear that question was never answered. Nobody asked about Susan Flores. Nobody asked about the mom.
No, you can tell just from the look that the sheriff gave me. He's clearly researched our podcast and knows that, we're not going to be giving the narrative that his press releases, give out. So he wanted no part of us. He didn't want us there.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not this Lamper fellow who's made his job so much easier.
So that question was definitely not answered. And then at the end, 3 people asked the same question over and over again. What was their demeanor? What did they say? What were their comments? What did they say? What did they say? And he just kept answering it. Who done it? Yeah. Who did it?
This and that, asking their questions, and yep.
And this is my final piece of evidence. Okay.
And evidence, do you mean like it in any way proves his involvement? Or is this just more speculation?
This is speculation.
Okay.
Well, this is circumstantial evidence, is what it is. Is that what it is? I loosely understand the term.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So what I have is a Google Trends search for your own backyard. You can see that this is starting. Here, look. We'll actually do from 2004 until present. Okay. You could see that in the beginning of the internet in 2004, Chris Lambert in your own backyard was doing okay. About half as popular as it is now.
But that podcast didn't start until much later, correct?
It didn't gain its popularity until later. You see, there was a rebranding that happened. It wasn't originally about Kristen Smart. It was about a HGN show with Vanilla Ice, where he would give people new backyards.
Oh, okay.
And he would do like a breakdown of every episode.
Right. It was popping. It was little spikes and dips and doozies, but
it was pretty popular. And then right around here in November of 2004,
it crashed.
Vanilla Ice said the N-word on MTV. Oh, I remember it was like a big thing. And then there was, a little dip for a while. People stopped supporting his project.
Market correction is what it's called.
After a while, he was forgiven. July 2005, he did a lot of apologizing. He did a whole apologize tour.
He went on a PR tour.
And also a SA tour. Sexual assault tour.
Yep, he went around sexually assaulting.
And then that's where we have this other drop right here, which is September of 2005, right after the SA
nobody's
tour.
talking about it. It's like
zero.
Hey, don't bring up vanilla. Don't bring up vanilla.
Now, Chris Lambert, over the next few years, tries to get his popularity back. Almost reaches it a couple times here in 2010. This was what, the 10-year or 15-year anniversary of Kristen Smart's death. And this is when he talked about the deck in the back of the Flores house, the infamous deck,
I don't think this timeline checks out at all.
That was built by Vanilla Ice. I've researched all of this, dude. I definitely researched this.
Well, yeah, laid it out.
That was built by Vanilla Ice. So they got this other dip right here. Because Vanilla Ice came back in the mix.
Still can't talk about him.
But people like the story, Kristen Smart's mom. What's her mom's name?
Karen
Smart? Kathy was crying, and people like that.
Julia. Is it
people
Julia?
like the tears. It like humanizes people. So this started getting this popularity, and he realized that every year or so he would talk about this backyard and people would like it. It would surge and it would pop. Then he said, you know what? I'm going to do this whole podcast about this one yard. And here it is, clear as day. It starts grabbing. February 2020. People are like, hey, did you hear about this backyard? Vanilla Ice. He built a thing.
That's about when I heard about the backyard.
Covered a body. It gets a little... Look, it all fell down again. His whole empire...
The pandemic. Everything fell.
Crumbled
Because of the pandemic. The pandemic, which started, late 2020.
So he had to do something. And he knew that it was time for him to get his star witness that had the information that he had fed him, because only he knew the information.
Yeah.
And now we have 100 on Google Trends, literally as high as it's ever been right now, April of 2021. And he's getting exactly what he wanted.
Yeah.
So allegedly, I would like to say that this is alleged. This is only our opinion. None of this is proven. None of this is...
I don't know. Like, I feel less confident after hearing your timeline. Like, I'm starting to be like, no, yeah, Chris Lambert probably didn't do it. I think your case is like crumbling. You're like a bad attorney. You're like an attorney that like the guy actually is innocent.
It's not my fault that you... Yeah, and I realize it halfway through my pitch. And I'm like, oh, fuck. But I have to keep going because I'm getting paid. Look, dude, you believe it or not, this checks out. I did all the research. And I have the confidence of I'm more confident than I could ever be. That, I don't know, what's the thing that's confident? What's an example of someone that's confident?
Huey Lewis in the News.
Old reference. I would have said...
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Huey
true.
Lewis. I mean, I figure he's pretty confident.
He is. So, I don't know, dude. I still think that allegedly he did it, but that's
Can
just
you
my
put
opinion.
in like a little clip of Huey Lewis in the news so like anybody gets the reference? I mean, because I feel like that you might need it.
Didn't Huey Lewis in the news have something to do with the Back to the Future thing? With
the Power of Love song.
You know that sound you're looking for? Listen to this. And he holds the phone out. Is that the same thing?
Probably.
All right, cool. Last but not least today, on Not Our 420 special, that was earlier. That's not now anymore. This is now that you're on Backyard.
Oh, yeah.
Part 2.
Yeah, you gotta get White Boy Summer in while it's still trending.
We got White Boy Summer.
White Boy Summer.
So Chet Hanks,
it's Tom Hanks' son. Son. I say son with like air quotes because he doesn't look anything like the rest of the family. He definitely doesn't behave like a Hanks.
No.
And he's just super swaggy and super gropey, super douchey.
Yeah.
There was like a period where he spoke with the Jamaican patois for no apparent reason.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
He's had numerous attempts at like a rap career, none of which have been even the least bit successful.
Yep. The most recent has been 2 days ago.
I mean, this has got to be the biggest thing he's ever done. Is this White Boy Summer, and I think he just like said that off the cuff and stumbled onto something so ridiculous that now he's able to monetize it.
Yeah, let's actually hop back over to Google Trends real quick.
We gotta watch the music video still too, because I didn't get enough of that to.
Oh yeah, we definitely
digest.
will. That'll be the finale. It's the White Boy Summer music video. But I wanna pop Chet Hanks into Google Trends real quick.
Is he trending now more than is his timeline kind of? It kind of does look like the Kristen Smart one.
Yeah. Wait, I wonder if he has something to do.
I mean, I think he's another suspect now after hearing
so
information.
This is just in the past 12 months.
So yeah, he's blowing up.
Let's see of all time.
This is the biggest he's ever been.
Yeah. So his very first stint with fame was 2015, or maybe somewhere back here. And then in 2020, January of 2020, when he started doing those like Illuminati videos and shit. And then
I'm thinking that's around the Jamaican patois phase right there. Was early 20. Well,
Yeah.
maybe, no, that was pre-pandemic, so I don't know what that was.
see, but then March, that was around the time when his dad got coronavirus, right?
Oh yeah, that's what it is for sure.
And then he was all like,
Yeah,
people are
'cause-
saying my dad's a pedophile.
Yeah, just like being associated with his dad, like caused him to pop bigger than anything he's ever done.
And now he's the biggest he's ever been.
This is it. This is the pinnacle for Chet Hanks.
So Chet Hanks has made a thing called White Boy Summer.
Yep.
This happened on March 26th. This is a whole timeline.
Yeah, like he's like the type of dude that like licks his lips before every sentence he says. Like, yeah, it's gonna be a white boy summer.
So his first announcement of this was, it's about to be a white boy summer, or am I tripping? Tag a real vanilla king.
Respectfully.
Hashtag respectfully.
Okay. So, like, he's associating himself with like a food product of his same skin tone. He's declaring that, like, hasn't it always just been a white boy summer? Like, it's pretty much like a white boy world, to be honest. So
Yeah.
he doesn't really need to like designate a season.
And then he said, okay, guys, look, I just wanted to tap in really quick. I just got this feeling, man, that this summer is about to be white boy summer, you know? Chet Hanks is Bo Berry if he never did drugs.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I can see
Or
that.
did different drugs. Like,
Yeah, or like just was successful in life.
yeah, he's like, he's
Had a
what Bo
billionaire
Berry
father.
sees. Then he said, take it how you want. I'm not talking about Trump, you know, NASCAR type white. I'm talking about me, John B., Jack Harlow type white boy summer. Let me know if you guys can vibe with it and get ready, because I am. We actually have a video.
Hey guys, look, I just wanted to tap in really quick. I just got this feeling, man, that this summer is it's about to be a white boy summer. You know, take it how you want. I'm not talking about like Trump, you know, NASCAR type white. I'm talking about, you know, me, John B., Jack Harlow type white boy summer. You know what I mean? Let me know if you guys can vibe with that and get ready, you know, because I am.
Wow. He has like Matthew McConaughey's YouTube vibes.
Yeah, he's definitely been known for a while to just kind of like be like the worst type of appropriation. Yeah.
So he laid out the rules of white boy summer. Rule number 1, to all my white boys out there, no plaid shirts.
And that checks out with what I would think. I would think like one of the golden rules of white boy summer would be something to do with like shirts. I was
Some
thinking
sort of- you
maybe
were saying
something
like a
about the
button-up,
collar, but
polo.
I mean, yeah, something with shirts. You know, I got to wear the right shirt. Of
You're
course.
right, yeah.
Definitely a shirt.
Rule number 2, no Sperry topsiders. What is that? Have you ever heard of a Sperry topsider?
Hey Siri, what is a Sperry topsider?
Here's what I found from wikipedia.org. Sperry or Sperry Topsider is an American brand of boat shoe designed in 1934.
Oh, it's a
Paula Sperry, older brother of writer
A
and
boat shoe?
illustrator
It's a boat shoe. So yeah, that definitely sounds on brand, like something like only a rich white person would have. I don't even know what a fucking boat shoe is. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like that kind of loafer.
Yeah, you can't wear that. Okay. So it's mostly to do with fashion, not really about like behavior or being like a good person or doing anything beneficial to the community.
Well, actually, don't speak too soon, because the next rule is that's not the type of white boy.
Here's where we get woke.
No calling girls smoke shows. Okay? That term, it's played out, dude. Do people still, is smoke show still a thing? I haven't heard that in a very long time.
I think it's like a semi-new reference, not like super new. It is probably dated now.
It's coming back
Like-
around
like
or
a,
something?
Like a couple of years ago, it was probably like a big thing.
Fucking smoke show. It's like,
I mean, like, is it really that big of an issue to where like that's the third rule for a
Yeah.
white boy? Okay,
it's that big of a, because I
And
don't
not
hear
because
it.
it's not like a good name or it's not cool. It's just been used too much already. So it's
yeah, it's played out, dude. We should come out with a new way to objectify women. Then he said, they've been asking me, Chet, if it's going to be a white boy summer, does that make it a black queen summer for you? And I said, do you know me? Because if you do, then you know that's all year round. Respectfully.
Respectfully, of course.
Hashtag respectfully. You know what's not white boy summer? So now we have a list of things that aren't white boy summer.
Oh, okay. This should be good.
That he's provided. This is the epitome of not white boy summer. Having ill will against or prejudice against anybody from a different background, race, walk of life than you. You know?
Yeah, I know Chet.
Okay. So that's yet another thing that we doesn't need to be said. People know that we're all created equal, and nobody should be hated for their choices that they make in life, or for their race or religion or gender. So that's kind of a dumb thing to say too.
You got Martin Luther King. You got Gandhi. You got Chet Hanks.
They said
these are all.
He also went on to add that having any ill will whatsoever towards anybody that's different from you is not white boy summer.
That ain't it.
That's the shit that we've got to elevate and get rid of.
That shit alleviate. I don't like.
I think he meant alleviate, but it's alleviate.
We gotta elevate. First, you gotta elevate it to get rid of it. You gotta throw it up and then
elevate and then alleviate
the atmosphere. Yeah.
Let's see. Then he said, it's everybody's summer, baby. Don't let them tell you different. I got something for everybody. Just stay tuned. Then turns out that there's only one rule of white boy summer, which is what he finally said.
So all the rules that we just heard, throw them out the window.
Don't even worry about them. Also, the rules about what's not white boy summer, those are also, throw those out the window too.
Yeah, this is something brand new. White boy summer just evolved.
The only rule for white boy summer is that it's not white boy summer, unless it's everybody's summer.
It's Black King summer, he says. It's black. To be honest, it's a Black King summer. It's a white boy summer. So it's our summer. It's everybody. Oh, so we meet in the middle and we rule our kingdoms evenly. We're all family.
Yeah. Is what they said. They shook hands, like the meme of like the two truck drivers shaking hands or whatever. Then he said, I want to shake his hand. I want to shake his hand. And he yelled it. Then he said, I don't want white boys coming up to each other like, yo, bro, this is our summer. It's not like that. If you're like that, then you're not tapped in. You're not white boy summer. Leave the salmon shorts at home. It's only white boy summer.
There's another he had to get another fashion rule.
So that's part of the rules too. You got to get that out of there.
And then, of course, there's a clothing line since he just laid out, such like a elaborate dress code for it.
So he said that
some options you can wear.
People were like, "Hey, that seems a little racist, dude." And then he was like, "Well, now I have a clothing line," and it was a racist clothing line. It's looked all.
Yeah, the font apparently was a font related to some
white
neo-Nazism. Yeah,
like bikers.
It just wasn't a good look.
Yeah, not a good thing. Then just recently, let's see, what's today?
It's 420.
This came out a week ago, and this is the White Boy Summer official music video.
And he only has not even 500,000 views. Oh man, White Boy Summer's already over. It was a wrap.
All the smoke.
Yeah. I swear to God, man, as soon as you get a bag, these bitches want to take it from me. Take it, fuck it. Yeah. Fuck it. Turn it up. The beat.
Okay, so some moderate groping. Looks like he's following his fashion rules, which is good news,
Yeah.
It would be funny if he told everyone not to do certain things, and then he's like, I want to be the only one in salmon shorts.
Yeah.
He just didn't want someone else wearing the same outfit as him. Because it is very it's really a whole outfit if you think about it. Salmon shorts. We got the button-up shirt. What was the first rule about not wearing like a...
No boat shoes?
Yeah, no. So you got the boat shoes, you got the salmon shorts, you got the button-up shirt.
Yeah, so he just comes in all three of those things.
Yeah.
Like a plaid shirt, salmon shorts.
Yeah, plaid shirt. That's
boat
what it was.
shoes.
Fuck, I want to wear that now.
Just a little bit, yeah. White boy summer. I met a bad little shorty on the powder dance, getting to the bag like it was her only chance. Rich bitch, known to run up them bands. Said fuck it, then she went and made her OnlyFans. Hot boy, white boy summer. Got your favorite Instagram bitch, DM in her number. Hit the strip club at Mike Thunder. She let me beat it, I'm the white boy wonder. Bad gal, white dandada. Rude boy, it's a white boy summer.
Oh, here we go.
White dandada.
Oh shit.
Rude boy, it's a white boy summer. Tatiana's all out by the cabana. Rolling marijuana and they all from Guyana. Yeah, Russian girl named Svetlana. Another from the islands, yeah, she looks like Rihanna. Yeah, white girls love Madonna. Girls wanna have fun, you could do it if you wanna. But shout out to my LA chicks on some LA shit. Eating sushi at Katana on the Sunset Strip. You know the boy got nice, cause I'm the one with the drip. West side won't slip when I come through. Bullseye won't miss, always hit my target. Made a strip off rip, I don't do chases, I just wanna hit. I got blue faces in my money clip, best believe. And that shit's all from TV.
Dude, it's a hit. White Boy Summer's a hit. Like,
but it's not. It's only got like 500,000 views. He's got to be really disappointed with that. Like after all the hype he got, like I've dropped this a week ago, and it's 500,000. I mean, obviously to us, that's like a ton of views. But when you're Tom Hanks' son, who's getting all this TMZ coverage, and all of a sudden, you got this video,
and he's the biggest he's ever been on Google Trends. You figure this would be a perfect time.
I mean, that's not viral by
maybe
his
it just hasn't. Maybe it hasn't had its time yet.
It's not summertime yet. This is gonna be this hit of the summer, but you can't go around in fucking April playing White Boy Summer. You look like a fool, an April fool.
And that shit's all from TV. I ain't even a crip, but they wanna see CHET. Yeah, bitch, that's me. Put respect on my name. Next time you see me at this level of fame, I'm just working my way.
Lots of year and a half old references.
Yeah, 30 racks off merch. First day, bitch, you might go berserk. Yeah, I might make it squirt. Yeah, let me see a nigga twerk. Yeah, we got it, boys. We just gotta get the out. Yeah, let me see a nigga twerk. Yeah, we. Yeah, I might make it squirt. Yeah, let me see a nigga twerk. Yeah, we got it, boys.
I don't know what he
just
said
gotta
there. I can tell you what it does sound like.
Well, I can tell you what it sounds like too.
Yeah, let me see a nigga twerk. Yeah, we got it, boys. We just gotta get the outro. Boom, we got it. Actually, fuck it, we got it. Yeah.
Okay, dude.
Yeah, so
that took a turn.
It's like a whole thing. White Boy
That
Summer.
took a turn for sure. White Boy Summer.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of frat kids like running around saying that.
Man.
I can imagine like Cal Poly is like two topics are trending right now: White Boy Summer and fucking Kristen Smart.
Mm-hmm. And soon to be Chris Lambert. Lampert?
Is it? I thought it was Lamp something, but I don't know. There's like several spellings for it, I believe, that are all technically.
That's
correct.
another weird thing. Yeah, another weird thing. But thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Ty, for joining us and for putting together that beautiful
investigative journalism.
Journalism, guerrilla journalism.
Yep. So you got to get the facts.
Happy 420. And we'll see you guys next week.
I'm done smoking. You can keep that joint.
Natural Habitat Recordings.
You look stoned.